Hey everybody, this is Jeff. We're down here in hot Tampa. Let me tell you, it's hot out here. I've been sweating like a runaway slave these last couple of days. But I'm here with my man JR from Team GMan, and we're out here just enjoying the weather. We're going to do a little bit of training. And JR is one of the guys that I met through over the internet, talking to different guys at different forums. And one of the things that really made me relate to this guy was his humble attitude, the message that he was giving, how hard he trains, serious guy, health, everything. And I'd say the real tipping point was, one of the hot spots for me is the bullying that goes on. I know I had my personal experiences with it. JR's had his, and he'll tell you a little bit about his story, but when we really connected on that level, that really took from, hey, this is a guy I sent a couple messages to, like, hey, I got to reach out and talk to this man. And we talked about a lot of things. Having a school and teaching children is very, very big to me, very important to me. You see some of these kids, the stuff that they go through, some of the videos out there, it just tears your heart out.
It really does.
Yeah, and
it really does.
It's something that he and I have kind of joined forces together on putting that message out there, that as martial arts instructors, that it's got to be more about, I'm going to teach you how to punch and kick harder than the next guy. It's about the support that you get from your teacher, from your fellow students, building that self-confidence, changing that person's self-image, the way they carry themselves, so that there's at least some layer in protecting them against being a victim of bullying, or if they are, that these kids never feel like they're alone, that nobody cares about them. That's just tragic, and we can't save everybody, but I tell you what, we're going to save as many as we can.
Yeah, if we can. Even if we save 2 out of 10, that means the job is being done.
Right. It's got to be about more than collecting money or showing how bad I am. Or that stuff, that's on the side, man. Reaching out and touching people's lives, especially these kids, in a positive way. So I'm going to turn it over to JR. I'm going to let him tell himself a little bit about himself, who he is, where he's from, and tell the people about who is JR.
Okay. Well, my full name is John Rodriguez Jr., but everybody calls me JR. Everybody knows me from my Facebook as being part of Team G-Man. I am the founder of Team G-Man. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, Red Hook, between Red Hook and Bushwick. And do I talk about my style? Can I talk about the style, or?
Yeah, just tell us a little bit, like, how do you define your martial arts style? What is it that you do? Things you incorporate?
Well, first of all, before I even start anything like that, I like to give the respect to my Uncle David. Okay, he is the founder of a style called up-rocking, which is an old breakdancing b-boy style of dancing. That b-boy style of dancing called up-rocking transitioned into the fighting style that we do now. Okay, and you'll see it all over the internet. A couple of practitioners that do 52 blocks that had transitioned from the up-rocking style of b-boy dancing. And I give credit to my uncle, because he's the one that I copied my style from. And when I seen Light Burley at 52 blocks, me and him connected as well, because that was a style I was already doing. Mm-hmm. And my style is more of feinting, more of keeping the confusion inside my opponent, constantly keep him guessing on what I'm gonna do, never standing in a position where he can figure me out. Standing in exact range where I'm not getting hit, but I can hit.
Right.
Okay. And I mean, my upbringing was tough, and I suffered when I was young a lot of bullying. I was a very timid kid. I wasn't, from the gate, I wasn't a street kid.
Right.
But my experiences made me more aggressive as time went on, because I was a victim of bullying. You know, I used to go to school, I used to get my glasses took from me and broke and pushed on the floor, and you know, and back then it wasn't that bad. Now it's like social bullying, and nobody was killing themselves back then, you know, but now, you know, kids are taking it to another extreme.
Yeah.
But I want to let other people know that, because they see me and they know I can fight now, so they feel like I've never been
Right.
in that
They
position
can't
before.
see you as somebody weak. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not anybody weak now, but when I was younger, I was. And you know, there was one incident where I got my jacket taken from me, and I went, you know, back to my house, and you know, my mom's, she was real strict, and I came home without my coat that she paid like $300 for. I don't know if people are familiar with back in the day, it was a sheepskin. All right, back then $300 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money. So my mom was like, hey, listen, you need to get your behind back out there and you need to go get your coat. And I was like, oh, Mom, you know, the kid, he's pretty big. And my mom wasn't trying to hear it. And my mom wasn't no fighter or nothing like that. She was just her, you know. So I had to go back out there and get my coat. I got my ass kicked a couple times. Then, you know, I picked up little skills here and there from people around the neighborhood. They'll, you know, how they try to take you under the wing. Hey, man,
Right.
this is how you fight. But then I encountered, you know, my Uncle David, and he's the one that really I give credit to my style. He's the one that put me in the position that I am today. I wasn't as good back then as I am now. Of course, through training and practice, you get better and better. But once upon a time, I was a victim of being bullied and picked on, and it was a very traumatic experience for me. So, but my style, I can't put it down into one thing. You know how people they study under senseis and sifus. Right. That's not how I was taught. So my uncle's not a sensei, he's not a sifu, but he's a damn good fighter. And I think being politically correct that's the way you're supposed to come up in the martial arts. You know, under a sifu or under a sensei.
And he really was for you. He just didn't have the title, but there was somebody who was there for you and shared his knowledge and experience with you.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's what's most important. So I want to let the people know that I'm not a sifu, I'm not a sensei, I'm not a 5th degree black belt in this or that, or what I am is a practitioner. And I follow the ways of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee always said, you take what you need and you discard the rest. Right. So every style that I come across, and I don't down any style, you know, if I see, you know, I've seen some pretty strange stuff that doesn't work. Right. I'm not going to name anything. I don't want to get sued. As a disclosure, I'm not going to say anything or mention anything. But I've been to certain schools and I look at their style and I'm saying that cannot work. Right? That cannot work, because a lot of the people that are in these classes, they don't come from environments that I came from. And they haven't been through what I've been through. So I take my experiences and my street smart and I put it into my fighting. And I know what works in the street and what doesn't work. Right. Okay. And there are styles that some things don't work, but there are things in certain styles that do work, and that's what I take out of that style. And everything that I learn is just, I figure I put my style like a toolbox. Mm-hmm. When I first started, my toolbox was empty. As I went along, I got a wrench. Right. I got a screwdriver. I got pliers. You know, I got some nails. I got some hammers. Right. And as the years went on, I started collecting things in my toolbox. So anything that I learn is just something that's added on. And may I say, you have to, in any martial art, to me, should start with the foundation of Western boxing. It should start from the foundation of Western boxing. Because once you know Western boxing and you know all the fundamentals, everything else that you learn is just an add-on, something that you could put in your toolbox. And that's how I did my thing. My style is, like I said, confusing my opponent, keeping him guessing at all times, not allowing him to figure me out, right? You know, on what I'm gonna do. And this is street combat, baby. This is not, I don't train for the ring. I think I've mentioned this in other videos before. Yeah. I don't train for the ring. I'm not getting in a ring with you. This is not UFC. None of that.
No
okay,
points
this
out here.
yeah, like we're not doing that. This is the street, because 99% of your confrontation happens here, happens in the street. No, you don't have time to put on gloves and get a ref and get a ring or be in an octagon. You know, this is real life, and I study street combat and what works for the street.
Excellent. So let's talk a bit about, we're going to get to your training regimen and how you prepare yourself for that. But let's talk about kind of like the bigger picture. So being a martial artist, regardless of what style or system you come from, how would you define the characteristics of a martial artist?
The characteristics
which ones do you promote in yourself? Because we know it's a struggle. Everybody doesn't wake up one day and I'm this great person and I have this very calm, put together character, I'm very giving.
Well, that comes in time.
Right. So when you look at, for yourself, what defines a martial artist, what kind of image that you try to project, how would you do that?
Well, the image that I try to project is, like I said, through time. I wasn't always...
It's real life.
Real life. Brooklyn, baby. Well, like I said, I haven't always been with this kind of demeanor. It has took time through my training. Through my training is what got me to be humble. Mm-hmm. Because I feel as your skill level grows, you become more humble because now you're understanding what you can do.
Right.
Okay. What I define as like a martial artist is I study the ways of like Bruce Lee, his way of thinking, smart, understanding your surroundings, very important. I push that very, very hard, knowing your surroundings, being humble towards others, because if you're not a humble person inside, I don't want to be the trainer or the practitioner people come to, and you know that how there's some schools where the sensei or the sifu has this magical aura around him that people can't even approach him, like he's unapproachable.
He's never wrong.
He's never wrong. He's never nothing. No, I make a lot of mistakes, and I want to share my mistakes. When I make a mistake, I go back and that's why I record myself, and I go back and I everybody makes mistakes. I don't care who you are. Bruce Lee made a bunch of mistakes. That's why he was practicing all the time, right? All the time. So, yeah, a person, you know, I want me to be that person that you can talk to about training, or if you have a personal problem, we can talk about that too. You know, I think that, you know, martial artists should be very well-rounded person, okay? And being humble is one of the biggest parts, because everybody is not perfect. And I've been to certain schools where you can't even approach the sensei after class. He doesn't even want to talk to you. Yeah. You know, and that puts a fear. You don't want to fear your trainer. He's there to teach you something. Right. You want to have a relationship with him. You don't want to disrespect him or disrespect each other, period. Because we're human beings and we should respect one another. Until something happens and you know, and you know, you got to do what you got to do. But that overall, yes, that's what I think that, you know, a martial artist should stand for. He should stand for kindness, you know, being humble, knowing when he's wrong, and sharing his wrong stuff with his students.
Right.
So the students can look at him as a human being and not some magical, you know, this green stuff around him like you can't touch him, you know. And it's not like that. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
We're all just people.
Okay, we're just people. And a lot of people say that, you know, we have this aura. Even the guy behind the camera, his name is Mike. Okay, we have this aura sometimes. We walk around and we have a real serious aura. But it doesn't mean that we're not approachable.
Right.
We are approachable. It's how you approach the person. You know. So it all has to do with with who you are inside. Who you are inside. And that you have to bring out into your students, right? You know, and let them know that once upon a time, I didn't know how to do none of this.
Right.
So don't think I woke up karate kicking.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't, you know. I was just like you. I was there. So when you make a couple mistakes, I'm not going to get on you. I'm just going to correct you.
It's a path and journey we all have to take. Everybody
starts somewhere. And I know today we're training with Jeff, and we're going to do a little bit of demonstration, and he's going to show me what he knows. I'm going to show him what I know. There's things probably in his toolbox that'll cause me a lot of problems. You know, if we was to ever have a confrontation, but that would never happen, because true practitioners do not approach each other in a negative fashion like that. We respect each other, we respect what we do. And I know that I probably have some stuff in my arsenal that'll give him some problems. So we're here to learn off each other. And also with being a martial artist, there should be more unity.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's something that I said that I was going to mention. There needs to be more unity. There's not enough unity. I see a lot of martial artists on my Facebook or on, you know, the internet forum. You know, my style's superior to everybody. And I'm like, no, I have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's a boxer, and he feels like, because he's a traditional boxer, and he feels like his style could kick anybody else's style. Yeah. You know, and it's not like that. There's always a practitioner out there that has something in their arsenal that's going to give you a problem. Right. Okay? And a street practitioner is, like they say, defanging the snake.
Right.
He's going to get rid of your hands, he's going to get rid of your knees, he's going to get rid of your feet. Okay, he's going to break your fingers, he's going to grab your testicles. This is real. This is real life stuff. Yeah. He ain't going to be bouncing around you. As soon as he sees you're in kill range, he's going to take one of your knees out, he's going to take one of your hands out. You can't fight without your legs, you can't fight without your hands, and this is what I was trying to explain to that gentleman. You know, and it's cool that you know your style,
right?
You know, and you want to be, you know, I know my style too. You know your style too. You know, Light Burley is a very good practitioner as well. But he even says that he's out there training every day. If he was superior to everybody, if we were superior to everybody, we don't need to train.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's not the case.
It's not the case. So we need to come out and we need to train, because we'll never be superior to anybody. But what we want to do is have a chance when we're out in the street.
Try to be
okay?
prepared.
Everybody has family. Mike has family. I have family, children. I don't want to be ever in a position when I'm with my kids that I can't get down and protect what's mine.
Yep.
Okay? I can't live with myself. You understand? You gotta get through me, and it ain't gonna be easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta get through me to get to my kids, and I'm the protector of my family. And as men, that's in our guts to be that. You know, we're the protectors. We're the men. You know, but there's some guys out there that they don't have that in them. Yeah. You know, and it's sad, and that's where, you know, accidents happen or tragic things happen with people's families where they can't protect their family. And I don't ever want to be in that position.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I'm rambling on.
Sorry.
Go ahead, next question.
So let's talk about, over your years of experience, what would you say has been your most memorable moments as a teacher or just meeting with other martial artists? Like, what kind of stands out as, you know, something that was a really great time or great experience for you?
I got three. Okay. Let's get rid of the. It's not really bad. It's not really great neither. But I used to train this guy named Doug. I had a couple of videos up with him, heavyset Italian guy. I trained with him for, I could say like almost 6 months. I was with him, and you know, I said, man, you know, I've been training him for a while. We went to LA Fitness. I had another friend, I think he's Nigerian or something like that, and I see him a lot, you know, with the gloves on, and he's practicing on the bag, and he has some, you know, he has a little bit of style. You know, I can't say he's a full-blown fighter, but he has a little bit of style, something that might have gave Doug a little challenge because Doug was new, you know, at fighting. So I said, man, I've been training him for a while. Let me see if anything stuck. Okay, so I put the gloves on him. I put the gloves on the other guy, and I said, all right, light sparring, maybe 10% power. And you know, they sparred up. I started the clock for 3 minutes, and this guy, the Nigerian guy, must have hit my boy 150 times, man. And Doug didn't even counter punch. He didn't do anything that I taught him. And at that point, I said to myself, is it me? You know what I mean? Did I not teach him anything? And that's one of my most bugged out experiences, because anybody that I've ever taught has caught on. And this goes to show you that some people, like I said with the other question, don't have it in here. They just don't have it. They don't have the coordination. They don't have it.
Yeah.
And you can't help them. So it's not, don't think, like if you're a trainer, don't think it's you. Okay? Mike's a trainer too. If some people just can't do the exercises that he does or that we do. It's not in them. You understand? But the majority of people you can train, and that's one of the most craziest moments I've had, because he was underneath me for 6 months. In 6 months, you should already know, like if I'm teaching you how to ride a bike for 6 months, you shouldn't fall off that bike.
Right.
You know, you should be, you know what I mean? You should be bunny hopping.
Might not win the Tour de France, but you got to be able to do something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you should be, you know, you should be riding 5 miles without falling. Right. So, now my other memorable experiences, not in training, but meeting Light Burley. Big ups to Light Burley, 52 blocks. Yeah. He's a great practitioner, and his style is really good. You need to check him out. He's on the YouTube, 52 Block Info. You can find him on the Light Burley. There's a lot of 52 practitioners, but the best that I've seen thus far is Light Burley.
And the guy have really great character too.
Oh yeah, Light Burley's the man, and I'm personal friends with him. We talk on the phone. I'm personal friends with him, and anybody that's in the New York area and wants to train, I suggest you find Light Burley, because he's the guy to go to. When I seen Light Burley for the first time on a video, and I happened to just bump into the video because I was watching some other video that had to do with b-boy, the b-boy style of up rocking, because I still study that style. I use it in my footwork, and I seen a video on the right hand of the screen, so I clicked on it, said 52 blocks, and when I seen him moving around, automatically I fell in love with the style, because it was so close to what I'm doing that I instantly had an attraction, and I reached out to Light Burley like right away. And I didn't know Light Burley from anything. He could have been a guy that I got on the phone with, and he'll be like, yo, what do you want? You know, I'm the best. What do you want? You know, but he wasn't like that, man. And I was more nervous to speak to him than anything else, because because of the amount of followers that he had and the amount of time that he put into his YouTube page, and what I seen him doing in the park in the winter and the rain and the snow.
Always out there.
He's always out there. So it really intrigued me to get to know this guy, and when we spoke, it was almost like me and him knew each other from a past life. The first day we connected, we spoke for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
it's almost like our first conversation.
yeah, like our first conversation, we almost spoke for 3 hours. So that was one of my most memorable experiences, meeting another martial artist and starting to understand other people, other styles. And I practiced with another girl named Annie. I practiced with her maybe like 5 times, a handful of times. And she came over here, and I'm saying, yeah, you know, she's a girl. You know, I'm gonna wear her out. You know, and I should have known better because Annie is a cyclist. Okay, she does cycling classes, she does Zumba classes, and she just came out of an 1.5-hour cycling class straight to me. Okay, and we were doing some mitt work, and she was like a little firecracker, and she was moving around me so fast that I felt like I needed to train more. I was like, all right, she shouldn't be moving around me like this. She's a girl, you know. And that just goes to show you, in experiences in life, don't underestimate anybody.
Never.
Okay?
Never.
She doesn't know how to fight, but she's such a small lady, and she's always, she's really like all over the place. I call her a firecracker. She's just all over the place. And when I did the mitt work with her, she was moving around and, you know, zipping and really 100% engaged in what we were doing.
Right.
And I never got that from a lot of people. They're 20% engaged, or they want to start telling you, well, I don't punch like that.
Right.
I punch like this. You know, so she was
They don't
like
empty their
100%
cup.
engaged and willing to learn,
Yeah.
you know, what I got. So, yeah, never underestimate anybody. You know, always take the approach in anything like that. You know, anybody that you approach, take the approach where even if you think they don't know how to fight, take the approach, this guy knows how to fight, and I need to be on the top of my game.
Right. Excellent.
You know?
Excellent. Man, I want to thank JR for his time, and the message that I like to put out is, like, for those who know me, I have a background in Wing Chun, but I don't limit my association or my training to just people within my own system or style. I like to reach out to different guys because I believe that you can learn something from anybody. I also just like to promote just brotherhood between martial artists.
Yes.
Because there is no superior system or style. There's no superior individual. We're all human, we're all vulnerable, and we need to pull together as a martial arts community, because the stronger the martial arts community is, the stronger each one of us individually are going to be. I mean, you got to tell kids to go outside and exercise these days. So just...
We talk about that all the time.
It's the message that we need to get out there and come together. We got to get away from the Xbox, associate with people, get your health and your strength and all that kind of stuff up, so that we can just be better people, healthier, and build a better community. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to do some training. Right? The guy's going to show me what he's got. We got Mike here. We're going to just mix it up. And this isn't about proving any point. It's just about, this is an exchange of knowledge.
No, that's all it is. There's no ego. He didn't come here with an ego. I don't come here with an ego. I leave that at the door. Right. I respect him as a man first. You understand? What he knows and what I know is irrelevant. We're here to exchange knowledge, and this is what I say about unity amongst, you know, practitioners. There needs to be more unity, and not be so intimidated when another practitioner enters the room and you feel like you're being outclassed or he's better than you or anything like that. If I see something that works, I'm gonna approach Jeff and be like, yo, you gotta teach me that, man. I don't have no shame in me to say, man, I don't need to know that. I've been doing this for blah 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 blah.
Right.
You know, no, I want to learn. If he got something I want to learn, I'm gonna go to him. I ain't got no problem. Just like I go to my trainer. Hey Mike, I don't know how to do this exercise. He's gonna teach me. You know, but if I close myself in that box, then that doesn't get me nowhere as a practitioner.
It's about brotherhood and fellowship. So, all right,
GMan.
we'll see you shortly.